Today we are going to be speaking with Stephen Tallamy, who has a terrific YouTube channel and also likes to walk by trees, including the Lodge. The Lodge. Well, hello everyone, and I am so excited to be here with Stephen Tallamy from England. And boy, I've been following his channel for a while, and we've been talking back and forth and kind of being co-channel friends and things like that. And I'm just so excited to have you on the channel today. Thanks so much for being part of it.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So let's just jump right into this. Let's jump right into the first question I ask everyone, and everyone knows what it's going to be, and that is, how do you make income?
Yeah, so my predominant income comes from my main job, which is an IT-related job. I'm actually a CTO at a company. And then on the side, my sort of side hustle, as it were, would be music income. And the main source of that, or the main thing that I'm sort of trying to make into a source of income, is through sync licensing. Done a few other things, got some stuff on Spotify. I've got a YouTube channel which hasn't quite reached the threshold, so please subscribe to my channel and watch all my videos to get us over that. So there'll be hopefully some income there, but the main thing I'm actually actively pursuing is the sync licensing.
Yeah, and I'll put a link to that channel obviously down in the description below. Have you monetized that channel yet?
It's not quite over the hours watched, so I've got
That's a tough one.
Subscribers. It's getting over, yes, and it's a lot of work to get you there, because you kind of need to be consistent, which I'm not. You're very good at being consistent on your channel. I just don't have the time to do it alongside the IT job and sync. So I have that sort of challenge. It's like, should I go write some stuff for some sync libraries, or should I make a YouTube video? And I'm kind of going, well, my priority is the sync licensing thing at the moment, so that's, when I have time, that's what I'm going to go and do.
All right, so we know you a lot of times through PianoBook, and as we talked about before, PianoBook is kind of tied into, well, not kind of, it's a product or service kind of born from Spitfire, and talk about your involvement with that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I guess my journey back into composing and writing music, because I was writing it, quite a few years ago when I was at college, and then I sort of went off and did my IT career, and now I've sort of decided I want to do a bit more music again. I was doing bands and other stuff in the meantime, but I wanted to really get back into, writing music. That was really, if I say, what do I do in music, it's composing. That's the thing I enjoy the most. So maybe about 3 years ago, I joined a few forums, went on Facebook, kind of figuring out, well, what does the world look like of composing? What things can I do? What sample libraries should I look at? All that kind of world. Got myself a new, MacBook, etc. Found the world of Spitfire and found Christian Henson and found his channel. And it was around that time he was sort of, doing sort of his intro into, how to get into the, the business. And then he came up with this PianoBook idea. So I think his original idea was he was going to make a library in plain sight and share it with the community, but then he decided, well, why doesn't the community get involved and they start submitting their pianos and their instruments to it? And one of his sort of fairly early videos, I was like, yeah, this sounds brilliant. I really would like to do this. I'd like to sample the piano that I have in my parents' house so that I could play it in my studio here, because I really love the sound of it. So, well, that would be amazing. Let's go and do that. And got really into it. And then one of his videos, he said, well, I could do with some help, some tech help on the sort of website side of things and running it. And I sort of put my hand up and said, hey, I could definitely do that. It's not a problem at all. Get into that. And so I got involved from pretty much the very beginning of PianoBook. The first version of the website, I was the web person on it, so pretty much every sample pack that was brought into PianoBook at that stage crossed my laptop, crossed my area. We started testing them out and uploading them and managing them, and from that, we've had a couple of generations of the website since then, where it's a much easier process to upload it and stuff. But so I really was heavily involved in the PianoBook from the the very beginning, and obviously being involved in it, I enjoy making sounds, as you say, and I think that's a really interesting income source. That there's probably one that you haven't maybe talked about so much on your channel yet, is the income you can get from making sounds, from sound design, from recording samples, and that really is the bit that excites me about the PianoBook initiative, because it's created some really, really exciting sample list out of it. So if people like Dan Keane, who now actually works for Spitfire as one of their composing team. You've also got John Meyer, who is he's also a sync composer, but he also has released his own sound. So he's put his own felt piano out, like a premium edition. He put the free edition onto PianoBook, and he got a premium edition for, I think it's around $40 or so, maybe 30 on an offer. And there are a bunch of other, people that have been starting to release their own samples, having sort of cut their teeth on PianoBook and tried out and learnt about it, got their stuff out, got feedback, and then have started making an income from these sources, which is really fantastic. We actually now have got this ability for people to launch full libraries. So we had our first full paid library on PianoBook. Whilst PianoBook is predominantly free, we now have had some that have paid libraries. Spitfire are releasing them, so they're doing all the work with the contact and native instruments and all that side of things, so it still is a native instruments native library, but now we've got people who are making an income by releasing samples through PianoBook as well, which I think is fantastic.
Do you have anything on Spitfire's PianoBook?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got that family piano that I recorded. It was one of my early instruments. I've got also, I recently took part in the Global Swarm, so I was recording my guitar with a piece of Legos, which you'll see on my
it's a great video. I'll put that video right up here. That's very funny to watch.
Yeah,
very cool.
Lots of fun. I also,
thought it's going to break. There's no way that Lego thing is going to hold up, but it did.
It did. It was quite good fun. And then I've sampled one of these, like a chili bottle. So you're just tapping that. It makes a really nice, sort of really nice sound.
I think I've seen that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I've also got a little modular setup over here. So I created a very strange synth. And actually, that one was one where I was looking for inspiration for a sync track. I needed something sort of dystopian sounding, and I was just got bored of all the sound. I've got loads of sounds because I've got pretty much everything that Spitfire I've got, and all the lab stuff, all the native instrument stuff. So I got loads of choice, but I was like, I just really wanted something unique, something that was going to inspire the whole track, and I was messing about with the modular and fiddling about with it, and then created that sound for the sync track. And then I made a video on my channel all about it's called Or Synth on the PianoBook, about how I made that sound and why I made it. Well, it's actually was to do with sync. I wanted something that had a really strange sound to it. So,
and do you sell these? Do you have a site?
I don't sell anything as of yet, so it's probably, again, my focus is on sync, and with an IT job that's pretty full on, I'm really focused on that kind of side of things.
So all of that, you're composing for sync, your sampling, your distribution of your songs out to Spotify. Do you do any teaching at all, or do you even have time for anything like that? Would you consider your website, your YouTube channel could become an income source at some point?
I think that's a good income source in the future. So I'm almost over the threshold of being able to monetize my YouTube channel, right? And there's I think the easiest way to make music income on YouTube, it seems, is make synth review videos, because like everybody loves those, right? There's huge amounts of them, and it seems like anyone who's interested will probably go and watch one of the big names, but then they'll go looking at some of the smaller name channels just for an alternative perspective or other things. And so my best content, best performing content has been things like my Roland JV 1080 video and things like that. They're very, very popular. So I think I probably would do more of those, more synth or those kind of things. They tend to do pretty well.
I guess I would say I would encourage you to keep up with your channel, and again, I'll put Stephen's channel below because it's just so interesting. And if you don't think that I am going to figure out a way to start this video with me walking in the forest before I introduce you. You're crazy, because it's got to happen. You've got such an original intro.
In this video, I'm going to compare the various Spitfire Audio strings libraries to help you maybe decide which library you might want to invest in next. I'm blessed with a beautiful forest around me in the Bracknell Forest area, so it's really nice. They've used the forest that I walk around for, the Avengers and for Harry Potter, and it's fairly close to the film studios, and so it's a great place. And it's sort of inspired a little bit by Christian Henson's original videos, where he would always go and walk up the hill and talk to the camera, and it's just a reminder.
Dogs.
Yeah, and it's just a reminder to go outside and do stuff. And that's generally what I do. I go walking in the woods, and either I'm recording one of those videos, or I will take something that I'm midway through writing, like a sync track I'm currently working on, stick it on my headphones and walk around and kind of listen to it. And by the time I get back, I've finished writing it, because I've already taken, that's where I've got to go, that's how I complete that track, that's where it needs to be. So it's just a great way of going out and getting music done.
Okay, so we've talked about your composing and sync. I would imagine, and your channel and your sampling. I would imagine that your goals for income would be probably that your sync licensing career takes off.
Absolutely. I mean, I scored a feature-length film. It was an independent film, and I've got a whole series about what I did when I was doing that. Really enjoyed it. It was a fantastic film. It didn't really go anywhere, which is fine. I don't, that's not a problem. I've just really enjoyed the process of it. Mm-hmm. But from that, I kind of learned, okay, well, that just takes a lot of time. And when I've got less time, and I want to still get my music out there, and I get it, again, the point is to get it synchronized to picture. That's what I love. That's why I'm doing composing, is to get it synchronized to picture. Then sync music seems to be the much more effective way. And what I really like about it is, when I get in an album brief from a library, I just really go, I could write something, about political drama, or I'm doing a sci-fi thing. And I really quite enjoy the sort of variety of different things. There's an album this style, and I go, well, could I even write that? And then that's where these synths and these other things, they help me, because I go, I'm not sure I'm very inspired. Let's boot up the JV1080, put a patch in, and there's the JV1080 on one of my sync tracks that, in one of the libraries now. So it's just, it's a source of inspiration. That's really what I'm doing on my YouTube channel, is just showing people where I'm getting inspired, really.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for talking with us here on Make Music Income. A lot of interesting things that we've talked about, and I love where you are in sync licensing, because it's where a lot of maybe people are, certainly where I am, and so we are on the same road there with sync licensing. And I think everybody needs to realize that sync licensing isn't just about struggling to start or sitting back and counting all your big bucks and starting a YouTube channel telling everybody how to do sync licensing. It's about trying to make those relationships and wait for those syncs to happen, and wait for something to show up on your PRO.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. And whilst you're waiting, remembering to go and write some more music.
Absolutely.
That's the thing that I always do. It's like, what should I do next? I better write, because you get these little pauses between briefs and stuff. It's like, all right, I'm just going to have to keep writing stuff and hope that I can get it into sync. So just keep writing, and then I think good things will happen.
That's good. That's a great piece of advice. So make sure you go to Stephen Tallamy's website right down below and follow that. Do you have a Spotify under your name?
I have a Spotify under my name, yes. So if you look up Stephen Tallamy,
I'll put that link as well under there. You can go hear Stephen's music and also see his YouTube channel and all his fun stuff he does on there. But Stephen, thanks so much for joining us here on Make Music Income, and we'll be talking with you very soon.
Great. Thanks.
All right. Have a good day.
Today I'm talking with Stephen Tallamy, who has a great YouTube channel in which he stops and walks by trees. And so today we're going to talk with Stephen about his music and the way he makes music income. And talk with Stephen about some of his make music income.
Why are there bees?
Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking with Stephen Tallamy, who has a great channel. I think bees like your jasmine.